One of the most important things you can do as a home service business owner or any small business owner in general is to know your numbers. Your business is really just math. It's numbers on a spreadsheet. And once you have a really deep understanding of that, you can know exactly what story each one of those line items tells. And you have to embrace the unknown. Not everybody wakes up and just magically knows what their P&L is. So it takes time to learn and study and cast vision on where you want to be and understanding how each one of those numbers is going to change and evolve as you scale your business. One of my favorite things to do on an introduction call with a conqueror is look at their P&L, if it's organized, and I can literally tell if their closing percentage is high, if they're charging the right price, if they have turnover, if their office is organized, if they have old vehicles. And that's a really good way to anchor myself as an expert, because if I can tell them about their business before they've told me about their business, it goes a long way to build that trust. And so for me, knowing your numbers tells the story of your business, and if you know them to that level, you're able to see the future of what your business will look like and how to build out the future before it even happens. So when I first start working with a conqueror, I like to start in cost of goods sold, because direct cost is exactly where you can see how much money it costs you to do a job. And this also tells a story of whether or not your technicians are working at a good pace, whether you're pricing the job correctly, whether you're routing efficiently, you have waste in your small tools and supplies. And it goes a long way to kind of anchor and understand the basic foundation of your P&L, which is that gross margin. We also look at organizing and structuring to make sure you have your chart of accounts categorized correctly. And so it is drinking from a fire hose if you haven't done this correctly from the beginning, but it's a foundational part of your business, and one that I would say that if you asked every single one of my conquerors that has gone through this and mastered it, that they would attribute this as one of the primary skills they have and the reasons for success is knowing the numbers the way they do now. One of the pitfalls I see when conquerors first start diving into their numbers is realizing just how much waste there is and not knowing where to start. And so when I look at coaching from my perspective, it's being a fortune teller, explaining that you don't have to fix everything at one time, but what is the next thing we can do that's going to have the biggest impact on your business, and helping them identify the roadmap of change based on the vision and where they want to be. I've seen a lot of success with people that get to know their numbers. The primary success is those that can be disciplined when they get their numbers under control and their profit under control, and they're able to continue to reinvest in their business to live out their vision. It's a catalyst for rapid growth. Those people that intend to live above their means and start to spend more than they earn when their business becomes more profitable have a really hard time scaling. So the number one thing I try to stress as a coach is to continue to reinvest into the business until you don't have to reinvest anymore, and that is completely based on your vision and your destination and where you want to be. If you're on the fence about engaging with a particular coach, I would recognize, or have you asked you to recognize, about the difficulty of scaling a home service business. Typically, the people that own home service businesses or small companies, they've never owned a business larger than they have today. And so the next step and what you need to do next it doesn't come naturally to you. And having a coach or a group of people that are all doing the same thing as you or have been where you are right now adds a tremendous amount of value and opportunity that you really can't put a dollar amount on. So I would ask you and flip the question around to you to say, what do you want out of coaching? And are you willing to be vulnerable and ask the right questions and do the right things to take the step to get to where you need to be?